Hello everybody, this is the latest in the chalkboard training series. This one is called The Importance of Understanding Carryover Volume. Carryover volume is one of the most misunderstood elements of the compensation plan in Alpha, and yet it's extremely powerful. Carryover volume can grow weekly to hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it can become your largest source of bonuses, in fact weekly bonuses, but it can very quickly shrink to nothing without being on auto ship. So let's go into what exactly carryover volume is. It's going to help a lot if you watch the first two other videos, which are located on the OlgrenNetworkTraining.com website. You've probably already been there or you wouldn't be watching this, but just in case, go here, go to the OlgrenNetworkTraining.com website and then click on our training system, and that will bring you to this page. And the two videos that are important to watch are these. They're the compensation plan part 1 and the compensation plan part 2. That will give you a good underlying understanding of the compensation plan in general, which is what's going to be important to grasp what carryover volume is. Carryover volume is completely based on element 2, which is just the first order bonus. So we're going to just make sure we understand that correctly, because to understand carryover volume, you're going to really need to understand first order volume. First order volume is the total of your brand new members, any level. You sign them up, someone else signs them up, someone in your upline signed them up, doesn't matter. It's the total of those new members' very first order, and it's tallied each week. And obviously all of these first orders are from people who just signed up in that past week. So each week you have a first order volume on the right leg, and then you'll have a first order volume on the left leg. We get paid a first order bonus, which is known as FOB, each week on the total of that first order volume, of whichever leg is smaller. And that's what you've learned in those other videos, is you'll understand the difference between the smaller leg, called the pay leg, and the larger leg, called the power leg. So let's take a look at it again. It's really worth repeating. You are paid a first order bonus every week on the total of the first order volume of your smaller leg. So let's take a look at that and kind of break that down. And you've seen this before in the other videos, but it never is harmful to take a look and make sure you understand it. You have, of course, two legs that are starting to be built out if you're a business builder. You've got your left leg there, and then you've got your right leg there. Now remember, each of these positions can be filled by you or someone that you place there, or your upline or your downline. There's going to be places filled by everybody. A second reminder is that every time someone new comes into your group, their first order becomes part of this weekly first order bonus. Let's give one example here. Let's say in the next week, this is your organization, and the total of the number, there's a bunch of new people who've come in from on the first level, on the left leg, and then a bunch of new people who've come in on the right leg. So let's say in the last week, the total of first orders equals 7,000 on that left leg. And then let's say on the right leg, the total equals 12,000 of first orders. So here's how they pay it. They will pay you based on whatever one is the smallest one. So 7,000, that left one, is the smallest. So they'll pay that out according to the other videos that you've watched, and they'll pay out all those 7,000 points. And then you start the next week with 0. Makes sense. You've paid that out, you go to 0, and then you start over again. Well, what happens on the larger leg is they subtract that same amount that they subtracted from the smaller leg, and then you're left with a number. Well, guess what? That's carryover volume. Carryover volume is what's left over from your larger leg each week. So now you've got 5,000 points here. Let's take a look at what happens in the second week. That 5,000 carryover volume is there. It's stored there in your larger leg, and of course you started 0 on the left leg. And let's take a look at example 2 now. This is the second week, or the next week. And let's say your group is doing well, and for that next week your first order volume comes to a total of 12,000 points on the left side, and let's see what else on the right. Let's say you've got 11,000 points. Now the first thing they do is they add up that along with the cumulative volume, the carryover volume from the last week. So 5,000 plus 11,000 is 16,000. That means the left side is, again in this week, the smaller leg. So they're going to pay out on that 12,000 points. So they pay out the 12,000 points, and after that they end up with 0. You take that same 12,000 and subtract it from whatever's happening over there in the right leg. So we'll take that 12,000, you subtract it from the 16, and you end up with 4. Again, this is the new carryover volume for the next week. That keeps going over and over and over. Now, some important points about carryover volume. Carryover volume will grow and accumulate week after week. However, it will have 50% removed if you haven't purchased at least 50 bonusable value points in the past 4 weeks. Now you'll notice that 50 BV is exactly the equivalent of 1 bottle of Alpha Lingi products. So let's give a scenario here. Let's say you've got 40,000 CV, cumulative volume, a carryover volume on one of your legs. Doesn't matter which leg it is. And let's just say you forget to order any personal volume. Well, in the 5th week of no personal volume, the system will automatically look at your carryover volume and drop it by 50%. So 50%, half of 40,000 is 20,000. If you can still do not order anything, in the 6th week it drops another 50%. So it goes from 20,000 to 10,000, and then it just keeps doing that unless you place a 50 BV, at least 50 BV of personal volume. So you get the idea. The whole key is this: in order to not lose any of your cumulative volume, carryover volume, get onto AutoShip with at least 1 bottle every month. This is crucial. You're going to see, and it'll happen over and over again, that someone in your organization says, hey, I had $130,000 in cumulative volume. It's been going for 6 months and it keeps growing, and now it's 65,000 or it's 33,000. What happened? Sure enough, they're not on AutoShip, or they got off AutoShip and so forth. So that's the big thing. You want to make sure that your people are on AutoShip. So to learn more details on your Alpha business, go to ogrenetworktraining.com. I hope this video has been helpful. Thanks so much.